My name is Tracy, and I was born and raised in Bay City, Michigan.
What other sports were you interested in as a kid? What did you end up growing to like?
So when I grew up, I was actually an equestrian. I grew up riding and showing horses, and I thought I was going to be in the Olympics for three-day eventing or equestrian events. That didn't quite turn out the way that I had hoped, and I went to college and played volleyball.
Tracy, what was your first introduction to volleyball? When did you start playing?
I started playing volleyball, backyard volleyball with my family at family functions like birthday parties. My uncle had a court that he built in his backyard on grass. And then I started playing a little bit on a sand court in northern Michigan. I played indoor for 5th, 6th, and 7th grade middle school, and that was my first real organized volleyball.
Tracy, how was your experience with volleyball in high school and college?
Well, in high school, I really only played volleyball because it was a winter sport and I couldn't ride my horse in the winter in Michigan because it was too snowy and cold. So I knew I needed to do something, and volleyball was the only sport offered, so I played volleyball. I got pretty good at it. In my senior year, my coach said, "Hey, I think you might be able to get a scholarship," so that's how I went to college, and I just went with it.
So where did you get a scholarship and where did you go?
So I went on visits to a couple of different universities, and I ended up at Western Michigan University. I loved it there. I was a 3-year starter, 3-year team captain. I made the all-decade team, all conference for 3 years, a number of accomplishments and records that are top 5 or better still being held at my college.
I think, Tracy, I'm a Midwesterner. Always dreamed of moving to California. Never had been out here as a kid. I ended up out here 20 years ago. How did you end up out here?
Well, I moved out here about 10 years ago. I had started playing beach volleyball when I was 25, so I was a little old to start the sport. And I started traveling to Florida and realized that I needed to just be someplace where I could play all the time. So I started looking for teaching jobs, had an interview, and moved 2 weeks later. Here I am.
Are you like me? I'm glad I'm from the Midwest, but I'm glad I'm out here.
I'm so glad I'm from the Midwest, but I live here, and I go home and I get a taste of that Midwest weather every winter and fall, and I'm thankful to come back here.
Of course, we got kind of a winter day out here today, but
yeah,
the two of us, we think that
it's
was
winter.
So you graduated from college. What did you do with your volleyball career to come out? I know that you became a professional. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. When I finished college, I had to finish my student teaching, and then I went overseas and I played indoor professionally in Europe, and I loved it. I went back for a couple of seasons, and then I stopped playing for a little while. Again after some time off, and then I started playing beach.
I've got kind of a twofold question. When do you make the leap from indoor to outdoor? And then also, what can you tell players and parents today about the advantages of playing both for each other? In other words, are you a better indoor player because you play outdoor and vice versa?
Yeah, I made the switch when I was finished playing all of my indoor, but being from the Midwest, there weren't many opportunities to play beach. I think kids out here have a lot more opportunity because the beach is so readily available to them. But the opportunities now overall for kids all around the country is becoming better and better in beach volleyball. I know that for me, after I started playing beach volleyball, when I would go back indoor, I was so much better. The court, everything seemed so much easier. I was, crushing balls and able to move a lot easier than you are out in the sand. So I think sand volleyball really plays a part in that.
A lot of people are watching this video from all over the place, just like I did when my 2 girls started to play. What can you advise parents to do to get their kids involved with volleyball?
I think that one of the most important things to do is to reach out to other players, start playing as much as you can, play in tournaments, get to know coaches around the area that you're in, and look for coaches that you think will fit the needs of your kids.
You see more and more TVs showing volleyball, the AVP, and so on and so forth. Where do you see the future of both high school, college, and professional volleyball going right now?
I think it's going to just skyrocket out of control. I think it's growing so fast, and kids have so many more opportunities now. Our level overall of volleyball in this country is going to improve tremendously just because kids are starting earlier now and they have access to high-level coaches and people who want to help them get better and succeed at the sport.
what players are out there right now? Obviously Kerry Walsh, but what other players are out there right now that are really motivating kids to get involved with the sport? Who are the ambassadors out there right now in the game?
Yeah, I think Carrie does a great job. I also enjoy watching players on the AVP who are friendly and approachable, people like Sarah Hughes and Summer Ross. Just having fun while playing the game, I think that sets a really good tone for other athletes out there.
Hey, Tracy, as a parent and as a player, what can I expect to get out of NB Sand Volleyball Club?
Well, you know that the athletes here are going to improve. We teach fundamentals, and having fun while doing it is a really big part of it. We want kids to enjoy themselves and have a friendly environment while learning the basics at a high level.
See, Tracy, you could be doing a lot of different things. You chose to spend some of your time here to teach these kids. What do you get out of this? What's the most enjoyment you get?
Yeah, so I've been with NB Sand for a few years now, and one of the things that I've really loved the most is seeing our athletes who maybe I just met when I first started out with the club, and they are now being successful, they're improving and getting better, and when a light bulb goes off, that's when I get excited. So I really love that part.
Some rapid, kind of goofy questions. We're both from the Midwest. I'm going to ask some real Southern California questions that really put you on the spot.
All right.
You get a choice of A or B, so you're going to say one or the other.
Okay.
Burgers or tacos?
Burgers.
Lakers or Clippers?
Lakers.
Dodgers or Angels?
Dodgers.
Kings or Ducks?
Kings.
Rams or Chargers?
Rams.
First car you ever bought?
A Dodge Colt.
First concert you ever went to?
Oh, Dave Matthews Band.
Jack Johnson or Bruno Mars?
Jack Johnson.
Perfect.